Senior Vice President and Provost of the University of Guam. It is my honor to serve as your moderator for this international event. The relationship between Taiwan and Guam continues to open up opportunities for both of our islands in the areas of economics, workforce development, agriculture, industrial development, high-tech, healthcare, aero transportation, and education, as evidenced by Taiwan Guam Education Summit held in November of this year. This event is co-organized by the Taipei Economic and Cultural Office in Guam and the University of Guam, joining with Governor Lourdes A. Leon Guerrero, Taiwan City Mayor Wen Sang-sheng, and other partners for this Taiwan-Guam Virtual Economic Summit and Sister City Agreement signing ceremony between Taiwan and Guam. Our panel discussion will focus on airport economics in Taiwan. I would like to introduce our distinguished officials and guests. First, we have our honorable guest from Taiwan, Wen Sang-sheng, Mayor, Taiyang City, Republic of China, Taiwan. Alan E. Hong Tian, National Policy Advisor to the President, Office of the President, Republic of China, Taiwan. Zhu She Yin, Director General, Secretariat, Taiyang City Government. Douglas Yao Dian Xie, Director General, Department of North American Affairs, Ministry of Foreign Affairs. Felix Xu Fen Yan, Guam Affairs, Director, Guam, Taiwan Office. Jerry Xiao B. Dunn, President and CEO, Taiwan Taiyan International Airport. Paul Ying Lin Chen, Director General of TACO in Guam. Next, we have our honorable guests from Guam, the Honorable Lourdes A. Leon Guerrero, Governor of Guam, the Honorable Therese Terlahi, Speaker of the 36th Guam Legislature, Brian Bamba, Chairman, Guam International Airport Authority, David John, Chairman, Guam Economic Development Authority, Milton Morinaga, Chairman, Guam Visitors Bureau, Christine Belletto, Chairwoman, Guam Chamber of Commerce, and Siska S. Hutepia, Co-Chair, Governor's Economic Diversification Working Group. At this time, I would like to invite the Honorable Governor Lourdes A. Leon Guerrero to deliver her opening remarks.
Hafide and welcome all of you to the 2021 Taiwan-Guam Economic Summit. I especially want to recognize and say I'm deeply honored to host this event with Mayor Cheng Wen-shun of Taiwan, and also my good friend, Director General Paul Shen, and all of our friends from the Taipei Economic and Cultural Office in Guam, as our islands work together to forge a future of prosperity. We are very humbled by our cooperative progress and happy, very happy for our continued and thriving partnership. At a time when the world's economies see a decline, the Republic of China, Taiwan, steadily welcomed growth and has become a top-performing economic engine. As we all have and continue to address the challenges of this god-awful COVID-19 pandemic, there remains evident an increasing need for the aero transportation opportunities and the caliber of industry development that Taiwan has so diligently and expertly cultivated. Empowered by technological prowess and innovative initiatives, Taiwan generated job growth and made critical industry investments to sustain their island's upward trajectory amid great and uncertain pandemic barriers. As a model for international success, Guam stands committed to enhancing our shared economic and commercial opportunities, our people-to-people ties, and our democratic values. In the year of the 110th anniversary of the founding of the Republic of China, Taiwan, and 1 year since reopening the Taipei Economic and Cultural Offices in Guam, it is with hopeful promise that we mark this meaningful milestone in our cherished friendship. We extend our wishes for good health and abundant fortune as we foster the resiliency of our cultural diplomacy and economic excellence. Viva Republic of China, Taiwan, and Viva Guam! Undankulu na si Zeus Maasi.
Thank you, Governor Leon Guerrero. Next, I would like to invite Mayor Wen Sunshine to deliver his remarks.
Good morning, half day. Madam Leon Guerrero, Governor of Guam, Mr. Paul Chen, Mr. Toraje, and also Dr. Enriquez. Mr. Bamba, distinguished guest from Guam, Mr. Alan Tian, as well as Mr. Felix Yan, Mr. Yan Zijie, Mr. Jerry Dunn. Today, at the 2021 Taiwan-Guam Virtual Economic Summit and Sister City Agreement signing ceremony between Taoyuan and Guam, I believe this is a critical milestone which is going to improve the collaboration between Guam and Taoyuan in many aspects. Guam is our most important ally for us in the West Pacific region. Guam is also a very popular tourist destination for Taiwanese. For a long time, Taiwan and Guam have enjoyed collaboration in tourism, education, economy, etc. I hope that through today's summit and also the Sister City Agreement signing, we're able to extend our lasting friendship. I also know that Guam has had major investment over the years, which contribute to economic growth. And Guam is also a doorway to the U.S., and I believe we have many aspects that we can work together. I wish today's summit a great success. And I hope that Guam and Taiwan will continue to have wonderful friendship and relationship. Thank you.
Thank you, Mayor Chang. Now I would like to invite National Policy Advisor Tian to deliver his remarks.
Day. I'm Alan Tian, National Policy Advisor to Taiwan's President Tsai Ing-wen, and also advisor to Taoyuan City, Taiwan. First, I want to express my gratitude for being invited to participate in this great event. I would also like to congratulate Guam and Taiwan on signing the Sister City Agreement. As an advisor to both Taiwan President Tsai and Mayor Chang of Taoyuan, I would like to share my experience of working with Director General Paul Chan on the Taoyuan-San Bernardino Sister City Agreement and Taoyuan-Ontario direct flights as a successful example to contribute to this summit. In 2015, San Bernardino County regained the right to operate the Ontario airports from Los Angeles International Airport and actively sought to expand flights to passenger destinations in Asia. Because it was primarily a cargo airport, Ontario has a low volume of domestic and international passengers, and there was room for growth and improvement. Mayor Chang was aggressive and enthusiastically promoting the possibility of combining the sister city and airport economy projects, and invite the chairman of San Bernardino County Supervisors, Kirk Hickman, to visit Taiwan on February 24th of 2017. They successfully formed an alliance with EVA Air, headquartered in Taoyuan, as a sister city. On July 7th of the same year, Mayor Chang visited the United States for the first time and went to Ontario International Airport to sign the Taiwan-US Joint Statement on promoting airport city exchange. From the trial flight in February 2018 to the maiden flight, San Bernardino County Supervisor Chairman Hickman believes that the development of new routes will bring great convenience to overseas Taiwanese. Mayor Chan's effort for Taiwan-US diplomacy has contributed to a milestone in urban diplomacy. The importance of this route is not only the creation of a new air corridor between California and Taiwan, but it is also the first discussion of the US Customs and Immigration Pre-Clearance Program with Taiwan. The direct flights not only increased the international flights between Taiwan and San Bernardino, it also increased the business activity from Taiwan business owners that have interest in San Bernardino area. Now, the relationship between Taiwan and San Bernardino is not only just people to people, and it expands to business. Lastly, I believe Taoyuan City can use the experience of Ontario Airport's Economies project as a model to Guam. I sincerely hope this sister city agreement will bring prosperity to Taiwan and Guam. Thank you for giving me the opportunity to share my thoughts on these topics. Thank you again.
Thank you, Advisor Tian. Now I would like to invite Director General Douglas Hsu to deliver his remarks.
Governor Leon Guerrero, Mayor Chen, National Policy Advisor to President Tsai, Mr. Tian, Director General Chen, distinguished guests online, Hafadai. On behalf of the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, Taiwan, I'm honored to attend today's Taiwan-Guam Virtual Economic Summit and Sister City Agreement signing ceremony. Taiwan and Guam have enjoyed strong ties in areas such as tourism, economic, and trade. Today, we witness another consolidation and progress of our bilateral ties with the establishment of the sister city relationship between Taoyuan City and Guam. Taoyuan City is one of the 6 major cities in Taiwan and home to Taiwan's largest international airport, a key aviation hub in East Asia. Very much alike with Guam's Antonio Wong Park International Airport, the aviation hub of Micronesia serves as a key link between Western Pacific and East Asia. Airport economics is crucial for both cities, and I am certain today's summit will further strengthen ties between both aviation hubs. Although the COVID-19 pandemic has halted in-person exchanges, it is important we avail these opportunities to explore more cooperation to better prepare us for the post-pandemic world. The Ministry of Foreign Affairs look forward to more frequent economic and cultural exchanges between Taiwan and Guam, and I'm confident that today's summit will pave the way for much more future cooperation and partnership. I wish this summit a great success. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Director General Hsu. Last but not least, I would like to invite TACO Director General Paul Chen to deliver his remarks.
Have a day. My name is Paul Chen. I'm Director General of the Taipei Economic and Cultural Office in Guam. I represent Taiwan government in Guam. I view the relationship between Taiwan and Guam as one of great potential, especially for airport economics. Airports are the core of 21st century globalization that combines a wide range of industries such as transportation, logistics, aviation, mines, as well as tourism. As such, airport becomes the centerpiece of their location, elevate development, and enrich surrounding areas. As Taoyuan embraces airport economics, it aims to utilize the strength offered by the airport to advance industrial development and to share experiences and best practice with partners like Guam. Growth for Guam is also beneficial to Taiwan. Taoyuan is a gateway to Taiwan and the hub of manufacturing and high-tech. Guam is open to industries from Taiwan doing business on the island. Our proximity and shared value make Taiwan-Guam a natural partnership, facilitated through the gateway of Taoyuan City. We hope the summit will result in discussion between officials, private sectors, and scholars from both sides on possible areas of cooperation for Taoyuan and Guam, and create tangible bilateral collaboration in medicine, energy, tourism, and recruiting new airline companies to offer non-stop flights between the two sides.
Now we will move to our panel session. The theme is Airport Economics in Taoyuan. The Aerotropolis project has contributed to Taoyuan's rapid growth as the engine for the city's development. Keynote speaker Mayor Cheng is joining a panel of experts and entrepreneurs to promote new opportunities to enhance respect, trust, understanding, and cooperation between people, business, and the other industries of the participants. The discussion aims to promote economic cooperation so as to elevate the welfare and prosperity of both sides on the basis of equality and reciprocity. I would now like to invite our keynote speaker, Mayor Wen Sancheng, for his speech. Mayor Cheng, the floor is yours.
Taoyuan International Airport and the development status quo of Taoyuan City. Taiwan is situated in the center of Northeast Asia and East Asia. We are only 3 hours away from Guam. The average flight for us to go to major Asian Pacific cities is less than 4 hours. Prior to the pandemic, in 2019, we have more than 50 million passengers coming into Taiwan every year. And the cargo shipment has been increasing from 2 million metric tons. And now, this year, we are going to expect a 8.8 million metric tons. So, as you can see, we have a large volumes of passengers and cargo. We know that Taiwan's economy is growing rapidly, and also the world is growing as well. Therefore, we are expanding our international airport. The third terminal is officially launching this year. It is expected by 2025 or 2026, we will finish the Terminal 3 project. By then, the passenger volume will increase by one-fold, and the efficiency of the airport will also be increased. We are also building a third runway so that we can increase more landings for the airplanes. This project is also going very smoothly at the moment. The Aerotropolis project has 3 cores. The first is to increase the capacity of the airport. For example, we are now building the third runway Terminal 3 and the free trade zone. And in this Aerotropolis, we hope that we can introduce industries with new potentials. And these industries can also increase the prosperity of the city and the Aerotropolis. We hope that we will be able to bring the potential of the airport to the fullest. And we hope that the peripheral area of the city can be a living circle for our citizens. At the moment, we are recruiting business and investment from different parts of the world. We are introducing cloud computing, smart vehicle, warehouse and logistics, biotechnology, aviation support services, and green energy. All these sectors have been developing very well in Taiwan, and they are also a very big important part of Taoyuan. They will be important sectors for the Aerotropolis project, and they will create a synergy for our development of the airport. In terms of the free trade zone, we have a Far Glory Free Trade Zone, and it has around 40 hectares of land, and the logistics can go through very quickly. It is also a free trade zone. Therefore, many processing manufacturers and cold chain logistics and e-commerce have been located in this free trade zone. And this free trade zone has attracted a lot of logistics operators, including FedEx and UPS. And we also have DHL and logistics operators from Japan. I do believe that this free trade zone will create a faster effect for all the logistics operators. The logistics zone is still under expansion project, because in northern Taiwan, a lot of industries are condensed. And you can see that Taoyuan is a logistics hub. We are serving many industrial parks and cities around Taoyuan. The logistics industry, in Taoyuan, we have more than 1,800 industry logistics operators in Taoyuan. So you can see that we are a major hub for logistics. We have a long-standing ties with Guam. The former governors of Guam and government leaders of Taiwan has conducted mutual visits for several times. I would also like to thank the legislature of Guam for voicing your support for Taiwan. For example, we have received your support for Taiwan's participation in international organizations such as WHO and ICAO.
I would also like to thank our Governor Guerreros, for your support during the pandemic. During the pandemic, I have shared our experience in pandemic prevention, and also I have shared our plans for future collaboration with Guam. I want to thank Governor Guerreros for your support. Taiwan and Guam have shared some historical common ground and his geographical common ground. Taiwan and Guam are close geographically, and have gone through we have were once ruled by other countries, including Japan, and both have enjoyed strategic location in the Pacific region. In addition, Guam is a popular tourist destination. Many Taiwanese people prefer to travel to Guam, to Okinawa, etc., and also to Palau. And Guam also has a lot of facilities and amenities. It has city and a diverse of culture there. Many Taiwanese people love to travel to Guam. Many people go there for honeymoon. So a lot of people take photos in front of the church in Guam. So for many people, Guam is a place with a lot of memories. Both Taiwan and Guam have a fusion of Eastern and Western cultures. In the past 30 years, Taiwan has gone through democratization, and Guam has also been through the same thing. Both Taiwan and Guam are tolerant towards other cultures, and both feature Eastern and Western cultures. Taiwan has many high-tech clusters, including semiconductor clusters, and Taiwan has been a very important supplying country for semiconductors. We supply to major companies worldwide, including the ones in the US. So you see that in terms of our industry, Taiwan has great potential. Taoyuan has an international airport. Taoyuan has also a lot of important industrial clusters, and Taoyuan is a doorway to Taiwan, and we hope to have further collaboration with Guam. I want to thank EVA Air and China Airlines for their direct flights between Taiwan and Guam. In fact, both airlines have enjoyed over 70% of occupancy rate. And many business people enjoyed flying with China Airlines and EVA Air. Although those flights have been impacted because of the pandemic, however, we hope that in the near future, once the pandemic dies down, we can resume the direct flights between Guam and Taiwan as soon as possible, and we hope to invite more airlines companies to launch direct flights. We know that there was this Airbnb package tour in Guam. In May this year, we had a pandemic outbreak in Taiwan. And at that time, because of lack of vaccines, a lot of people went on this Airbnb package tour in Guam. So many people joined this tour to receive vaccination in Guam. In the meantime, they enjoy traveling there. I want to thank the Guam government for your support in arranging Airbnb package tour. Now, the pandemic has eased in Taiwan, and we gradually have plenty supply of vaccines in Taiwan. So currently, the demand for this Airbnb package tour has declined. However, looking into the future, I believe we can still work on many industries. Currently, every year, about 200,000 people come to Taiwan for medical tourism. In terms of our medical expenditure, well, in fact, the medical expenses in Taiwan is only 1/3 of that of Singapore. So Taiwan is a very important place for medical tourism. And in fact, Guam has signed some cooperation agreement with several hospitals in Taoyuan, including Linkou Changgen Memorial Hospital. Lincoln Changgen Memorial Hospital is an excellent hospital here. And in the future, we hope that we can have more medical cooperation between Taoyuan and Guam. Guam is a beautiful island. It is a popular tourist destination. It is also a place for not only pleasure but also business. So I hope that more and more people can go to Guam, can enjoy traveling there, and can broaden their horizons during their stay in Guam. I believe there's still plenty of room for collaboration between Guam and Taoyuan. I talked about the honeymoon to Guam, and I hope that for many young people in Taiwan, they can enjoy their honeymoon, enjoy their travel in Guam. We hope that more and more people will go to Guam for their honeymoon. In 2023, Guam, we hope by 2030, we hope to become a bilingual nation. And Guam is a perfect place for us to arrange summer camps for students because it is only 3-hour flight away from us. So we hope that we can have further collaboration in education as well. In the future, perhaps for college students, for high school students, we can arrange them to have homestay or have summer camps in Guam. At the same time, they can enjoy traveling there. And in addition, Taiwan has plenty supplies of fresh produce and daily necessities. We also have a comprehensive logistics chain. So we hope that Taoyuan can become a supply base for Guam in terms of these fresh produce and daily necessities. In addition, Taiwanese people are interested in investing in the real estate market, and we would encourage our people to invest in Guam, to invest in Guam's real estate property. I think these are only a few aspects that we can work together. There are much more that we can collaborate, including culture and other industries. I really hope that more and more people can get to know more about Guam, and I hope that Taoyuan and Guam will continue to work with each other to engage in many collaboration projects in the future. I believe these collaboration projects are going to benefit the people of Taoyuan and Guam. And lastly, we hope that there will be more direct flights from Taoyuan to Guam, and we hope that people can enjoy smooth traveling in Guam. So we will continue to work with tackle in Guam, as well as Taiwan Taoyuan International Airport. We will continue to talk to different stakeholders so that we can ensure a very smooth traveling experience for our people, and we can also contribute to further collaboration in education, in medicine, and in other sectors. This is what we hope to achieve in today's economic summit. In the post-pandemic era, we should start to get ready in order to improve our collaboration. And I also believe that we enjoy a very effective pandemic prevention, and we also have very effective clearance procedures at both of our international airports. And I hope that after the pandemic, we can have more simplified procedures, and then we will have more and more visit between both sides. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mayor Chen, for your speech and for providing those collaborative opportunities. Now, I would like to give the floor to our panel speakers for open discussion, beginning with Mr. Brian Bamba, Chairman of the Guam International Airport Authority.
Thank you, Dr. Enriquez. And good morning, Governor. Good morning, Mayor Chen, and good morning, Director General Paul Chen. First off, on behalf of the board and management and the employees of the Guam International Airport, I'd like to say thank you for coordinating this and highlighting the importance of airports in the sustaining of our economies. And I also wanted to congratulate you, Mayor Chen, for the for your vision and the successful execution of the expansion of the Taiwan Airport to what it is today, the Aerotropolis. It's a very significant development in your country, and I do believe that there are many things that we can learn from. First off, you know, the COVID pandemic had really exposed airports and economies that are traditionally and heavily reliant on leisure travel or tourism, and it caused airports to think outside the box to diversify its business and spread those risks in the event of a sustained pandemic or even something in the future that's similar that may occur. And while these are very capital intensive assets, you know, they do generate the economic activity that sustain our economies, especially in a very small part of the world. And so, you know, I'd like to ask, from your perspective, what are some of the key requirements and maybe learnings that we can take away from Taoyuan's development, specifically around, you know, the areas of leveraging government land assets to in and around the airport to generate economic activity, as well as maybe some flexibility in leasing provisions and terms that would allow for investors to gain returns on their investments, and any government support or incentives that your government would provide for some of these investors. And you did mention many opportunities for us to develop partnerships with Taoyuan. And we specifically want to look at areas for transshipment, not just to Guam, but also throughout the region, using Guam as a cargo transshipment hub. And so maybe if you could share some of your experience and learnings on how we could facilitate that successfully so that we can diversify the Guam International Airport. Thank you.
In terms of our expansion of airport, we did not only focus on the Terminal 3 and the third runway. What we do is that we have more than 70 hectares of free trade zone, and 380 hectares industrial zones. We have more than 600 hectares for residential areas. So it's actually a comprehensive complex for the land areas. We have more than 2,600 hectares of lands to be developed. So you can see that 40% of the lands were actually compensated for those whose land were acquired. The Aerotropolis project actually integrates the capacity of the airport to introduce industries and to develop our airport cities. So these three targets and goals go hand in hand with each other. Now we are actually planning the new freeway or expressway that can help those coming into the airport or going out of the airport go faster. And we do believe that with this free or expressway, we will be able to connect more industries and other cities into the Aerotropolis zone. This project is currently going very smoothly. A lot of projects have been signed under our MOUs with many sectors. And as I mentioned in my presentation, we are going to introduce 6 prioritized industries, for example, aviation support, logistics, green energy, and cloud computing. At the moment, the expansion of airport expansion and the Taiwan Aerotropolis have now been going very successfully. So we are confident that it will be completed in the next 5 years.
Thank you very much. Thank you, Mr. Bombas. Thank you, Mary Chen. I will now present Mr. David John, Chairman of the Guam Economic Development Authority, for his remarks and question.
Good morning, Mayor and distinguished guests. First of all, I'd like to, on behalf of the Guam Economic Development Authority, I would like to thank you for inviting us to today's discussions. I think it's very important and timely. As we all know, we've been suffering from COVID over the last few years. Prior to that, Guam was booming with tourism. We were seeing record numbers for the 2 years entering into the COVID, and tourism was booming. And then came COVID, and tourism was pretty much wiped out overnight. The governor quickly pivoted and got many of us together to look at other opportunities that would be available for our community to benefit from economically. So we've been giving a lot of soul searching and trying to figure out where we can head as a community economically, as well as how we can develop our youngsters into being contributing members of our new direction and where we're going with our economy. And so this timing of the discussions, I think couldn't be better. So I'd like to thank you for that, and hopefully we can move forward with these discussions. Over the years, I think we've all seen a number of these signings come and go, and they all start with ribbon cutting ceremonies and such. And by the way, I think we all would wish we could be there with you in person, but I'm glad we didn't put it off and wait for things to open. Hopefully we can join you someday and shake hands and be in person to follow up with this. But I think we've seen these arrangements come and go. And they start off with all the right intentions. What I would like to see is, what do we need to do to make this work long-term, not just short-term? And I think to do that, we need to kind of think of our own ethos, where we're heading with this, how we benefit both communities. It has to be both beneficial to Guam and to Taiwan City. So how do we structure something that allows us to focus on the short-term deliverables in order to make sure that this relationship sticks around and becomes a long-term benefit to both our island and your city. We'd really like to see your guidance on this. You've done this before successfully, and we'd like to look to you for advice and counsel on how to make this a short-term, as well as, most importantly, a long-term benefit to our island and your city. Thank you.
Thank you. I think during the pandemic, cities and countries around the world have been facing economic challenges. Many of them have been adopting subsidies for workers and stimulus packages for the workers. Or maybe they also provide incentives for a lot of the businesses. Actually, Taiwan also went through this phase. Currently, we are trying to stimulate our consumptions. We are encouraging tourism. We are also encouraging our citizens to shop at the shopping malls and markets as well as retailer stores. Therefore, we have actually released a lot of shopping incentives. For example, we have a stimulus voucher programs where people could receive five folds of incentives to increase consumptions. At the same time, in Taoyuan, we also have this shopping festival where we encourage our citizens to shop. According to my estimates, the service industry in Taiwan has restored to their original capacity. At least 80% is restored. I think the problem now is that we do not have international tourism. So what we can do now is to make preparations. Now, if we look at Guam and Okinawa in Japan, the tourism between Taiwan and Okinawa is very, very prominent. We see a lot of people going into Okinawa. If Guam can become our next tourist destination for Taiwanese people, I do believe that you will see a lot of tourists going into Guam. Therefore, we need to try to elevate our capacity for tourism. And I personally have visited Guam, and I do think that it is a very good tourist destination. So if there is a direct flight, or maybe more than one direct flight, we can have more and more exchanges, and we can increase prosperity between both sides. According to my past experience, after signing friendship cities, our staff will actually delineate the exchange programs in education, sport, culture, and other industries, as well as visits between a lot of industries. It will not be an official exchange. It will be people to people and business to business exchange. So we will do this step by step. I do believe that the path for Taoyuan and Guam and Taiwan and Guam is still a long way for us to go. So in the past, when we were trying to promote sister city agreement with other countries or with other cities, I have proposed a lot of projects. Most of these projects have been completed smoothly. We don't want a sister city signing agreement just end on the date of a signing ceremony. We hope that it will be a long-lasting partnership. Of course, we also hope for the same between the sister city relationship between Taoyuan and Taiwan. I would like to thank the governor and the Guam administration team. We will do our best so that we can conclude all of these ambitious goals that we have delineated.
Thank you, Mayor Chen, and thank you, Mr. John. We will now move to our next speaker, Mr. Milton Morinaga, Chairman of the Guam Visitors Bureau.
Good morning, and Hafa Day, and Ni Hao. On behalf of GVB Board and the management, it is a great pleasure and honor to be here this morning to be part of Taiwan-Guam Economic Summit. Taiwan is our major key market for Guam. And I have a few questions to the mayor that I would like to say. One is, with the success of the Airbnb program, how can we capitalize on all the media coverage to better position Guam post-pandemic? The next question, I'll read the question all at one time so you can summarize it, everything at your pleasure. Given the accessibility, Guam is essential growing the market. Are there any opportunities to work with Taoyuan Airport on incentives and enticement for Taiwanese airlines to operate flights to Guam? Visitors from Kaohsiung is also a market we would like to grow in. Currently, Kaohsiung does not have a direct flight service to Guam. The bullet train schedule does not connect with flights departing from Taoyuan Airport. At one time, China Airlines rescheduled the departure time about an hour or two to accommodate travelers arriving from Kaohsiung. Is it possible to revisit this idea again? For inbound travelers, an afternoon arrival in Guam is preferred, and it was a success when we we had that flights coming into Guam in the afternoon. So I'd like to pose these questions, Mayor. Thank you very much.
Actually, we are aware of this situation. Actually, citizens from different cities usually take the high-speed railway to Taoyuan, and we have a Taoyuan metro system that can connect with the high-speed rail. Therefore, flights going into Guam must accommodate citizens from different cities. So in light of this, we will coordinate with the airport, of course, with the airlines. So maybe what we are thinking is that maybe the flights flying to Guam can take off after 10 a.m. in the morning, and maybe we can arrange direct train from cities to Taoyuan, so that cities from the southern part of Taiwan, central part of Taiwan can come to Taoyuan more easily. After they come to the Taoyuan high-speed rail train station, they can access the airport through our Taoyuan metro system. And also, if you are coming from Taipei, the ride is only 35 minutes away from Taipei to Taoyuan. Therefore, I think that the direct flight between Taoyuan and Guam must also adjust to the schedules of our high-speed railway systems. So I think that this will require coordination between the airport, the city government, as well as the airline companies. And of course, the package tour designers, for example, the tourism agencies, should also work with us. So maybe I think if we can see more traveling demand, maybe we can increase more flights to accommodate the tourism agencies so that they can arrange more tours for people to go to Guam. Actually, a lot of people would like to backpack as well. So maybe we can also arrange some of these flights for backpackers, because they don't usually rely on the package tours. And also, I think that there are some tourism package, for example, honeymoon package. For those who choose Guam as their honeymoon destinations, I do believe that we should have more options for them. Let's compare Guam with Okinawa. I do believe that Guam holds a lot of potential for us to explore. So I don't believe that our collaboration will end at this sister city agreement signing. I do believe that we can continue this forward with more and more cooperation. Now we are seeing EVA Airway is exploring the possibility of the direct flight between Taoyuan and Guam. And also, I think for students, the summer vacation is a time that we can make full use of, because a lot of students are choosing to go to the United States to study English. So Guam is a perfect location. Actually, the similar projects between us and Japan have been undergoing for many years. At the same time, because in the past, a lot of the students going into the United States will go to California and Vancouver, but it actually costs a lot because it's far away. But if we choose Guam as our destination, this will actually be cheaper for students. So I think that this is the direction that we can work towards.
I would like to invite our colleague to elaborate. Mayor, Governor Guerrero's distinguished guest, good morning. My name is Jerry Dunn. I'm the president and CEO of Taiwan Taoyuan International Airport. To respond to your previous questions, as mentioned earlier by Mayor Chen, well, we will continue to coordinate with EVA Air, with other airlines. We will also communicate with the Guam Visitors Bureau and to see how we can contribute to the marketing of Guam. We have conducted market research on our own as well, and we share our research results with airlines company so that we can arrange the timetable that is more appropriate for travelers. Thank you.
Thank you very much. And thank you, Mr. Morinaga. We will now turn it over to Ms. Christine Belletta, who is the chairwoman of the Guam Chamber of Commerce.
Buenas and Hopede. Yes, okay. Buenas and Hopede, Governor Leon Guerrero, Director General Chen, and Mayor Cheng. On behalf of the Guam Chamber of Commerce, I'd like to thank you for this opportunity to be part of the discussion and insight into the Taiwan-Guam partnership, as well as gaining a better understanding of the Areopolis project. Obviously, my questions are more directed towards commerce. Many of our participants have talked about the negative effects that the pandemic has had on our tourism industry. And so I would like to ask, in your opinion, Mayor, how important it is for tourist destinations like Guam to consider the development of an airport city project, and in doing so, taking from your experience in Taiwan, is the strategy best to work on a public-private partnership where incentives are provided to business entities to develop the different phases of the airport city? Or is the strategy to have the government develop the project and then look to long-term leases for business entities? And depending on that strategy, what are the incentives that would be used to invite businesses to participate in the development project?
I think different airport cities have different features. Take Taoyuan, for instance. We have strength in mines, in logistics, in industry, in exhibition, etc. In terms of land acquisition or infrastructure, government plays a leading role. But in terms of private investment, we, of course, have, for example, a BOT model to invite the private sector to be involved in this development. So we call this a public-private partnerships, or PPP. This is the major model that we adopt. So the PPP model has been applied to attract the business in Aerotropolis projects. And we will also lower the threshold for investment for investors. So for instance, we offer some discounts for land leasing so that they don't have to spend as much money in acquiring or leasing the land that they're going to use. We also offer other incentives. For instance, offer some discounts if they want to invest in our Aerotropolis projects. So these will ease their financial burden. We also built a Aerotropolis company, which is a single entity that helps the businessmen or investors to invest in the Aerotropolis projects. We currently are recruiting businesses quite smoothly in our Aerotropolis projects. Now we have seen a reconstruction of the supply chain worldwide. So many companies, many businesses are interested in investing in our Aerotropolis project. And in fact, we have seen a 20% of new investment in Aerotropolis projects. There are many projects that we can implement here. Currently, we have seen many people go to Guam for traveling. I think we can work with the private sectors. For instance, in Japan and Taiwan, this travel arranged by companies, I think, is another major market. For instance, you can arrange a 5-day tour for companies or to employee vacation. And because for all companies in Taiwan, they have to arrange this a trip for employees. So we can really tap into this market. In addition, we can also market the place as a place where people go for further study, further exchange, or a MICE destination. So if major conferences are to be held, perhaps they can consider Guam as a destination. I know that when you go to Guam, you probably don't think about having meeting, or you don't want to have meetings. You want to simply enjoy and have fun. However, I think Guam is also a good destination for NGOs, for businesses to have conferences, because Guam has great facilities and infrastructure. So I believe Guam has great potential in the MICE sector. I'm really confident. As long as we can increase the direct flights between Taiwan and Guam, I think Guam is a very affordable destination for us.
Thank you very much. Thank you, Mayor Chen, and thank you, Chairwoman Beleto. We will now have our final speaker of our panel, Ms. Siska Sutapia of the Governor's Economic Diversification Working Group.
Have a day, Governor, Director General Paul, and Mayor Chang. I can't wait for this pandemic to be over so I can visit Taipei and eat at Din Tai Fung again. I've had pleasant trip to Taipei. And as the co-chair for the Governor's Economic Diversification Working Group, I would like to invite business people from Taiwan to come and invest in Guam. We have U.S. soil with strong political stability, and we have the half-a-day spirit. We would welcome you open hand and open arms, and with our hospitality. And you can. The best thing is when you open your business here in Guam, you can do board meeting on a paddle board in the ocean. So it's a different kind of board meeting. So the governor and I have enjoyed many board meetings in the ocean. Taiwan has been one of the largest real estate investor on Guam. I actually live in one of the best subdivision that is built by a Taiwanese developer. And so please send more businessmen to Guam and develop. We are very interested in opening a semiconductor manufacturing facility here on Guam, or even pharmaceutical manufacturing industry. There's a lot of diversification initiatives that we're working on, and we are going to welcome you here. Chairman of GIDA, Mr. David John, can arrange for all of the need that you need to open your business here. So anyhow, as a real estate expert in Guam, what I'm interested to hear from Mayor Chen on his successful Aerotropolis is, how did the Taiwan government provided the land for the development of the airport? And what are the lessons learned that Guam can learn from this real estate development? Because it is a massive development and a very successful one. So we would like to hear your side of the story on what lesson that you learned from this real estate development. Thank you.
Our principle is transparency, democracy, and public participation. We invite the public to participate in the process. We enable people to understand the subsidies that they can get in this development project. So in terms of subsidies for buildings, we have a 60% of subsidies. We also have land allocation projects. So if this land used to be farmland, it could only be used for farming. But now if it is then used for commercial buildings, then it can get a 40% of the land used for a commercial building. So in terms of 260 hectares of land, this is a 2,600 hectares of development. This is a huge development project, and the majority of the landowners agree to participate in this development project. So we do not face a lot of objection from local communities. It is difficult to have land expropriation in Taiwan. However, we have adopted many approaches, including some housing projects, rehousing projects, so that people can relocate more easily. That is to say, they can be relocated to other communities, and these communities are newer communities, are more modern communities, more convenient communities. So that is one of the incentives that we offer for local communities. I believe if we can adhere to the principle of democracy and transparency, we can solve all the problems. At the same time, we have to offer subsidies and incentives for people as well. And in addition, many Taiwanese people are investing in Guam, and many people invest in commercial properties in Guam. Perhaps after today's agreement signing, we can think about how to improve the investment in Guam and how to have more diversified investment in Guam. I know that currently most of the investment is in the real estate. And many Taiwanese people invest in the housing market there steadily. And because of that, they will go traveling there regularly. So it's not a bad thing.
Thank you very much, Mayor Chen. Thank you, Ms. Satupia. And this concludes our panel session. I want to give a round of applause to thank members of our panel for all your wonderful remarks and questions. And to Mayor Chen, thank you so much for your vision and your advice to all of our members.
There is a type of driving force called persistence. There is a type of driving force that attracts new opportunities. Taoyuan is driving change for a better future. In the past, my education is determined by others. Today, I drive my own education.
其他学校的小朋友都想去乐园玩，但是我们学校的小朋友已经每天都在智慧乐园里面游玩学习咯。
桃园市透过智慧教室建制，让老师在学习成长，建立了创新互动的新教学模式。老师，我们可以看一下，就是老师。
自主学习3.0实验室的课程有别于一般传统专案实作的方式，可以给他们更多的空间与选择，帮助他们解决未知的问题，迎向世界的起点。
Taiwan is surrounded by the ocean. It is particularly important for us to cherish and protect the ocean.
桃园很给年轻人机会和支持，让我们在海洋保育的路上，即使跌跌撞撞，也能够始终朝着理想前进。
我们清理海底的沉积垃圾，海岸边、海面上的我们就交给海岸巡护队与环保舰队了。
history of a small town does not remain in the past.
这间店从我阿祖到现在已经有4代了，那长辈们留下了许多照片跟故事，可以跟大家一起来分享一下。
我们是传承大溪木艺新世代的木职人，一起延续传统，创新设计，为大溪木艺寻求新出路。
我们和大溪的居民一起共学行动改变，挖掘大溪的历史文化，让它成为现在进行式。我们一起追求大溪更美好的未来生活。永续不是口号，我们正在实实在在的行动。大溪正在行动的路上。
There is a group of people who always care about your health.
很谢谢小管家他们到我家里来关心我、看我，真的很谢谢。
来，量血压咯。
From imagination to action, every step we take shapes Taoyuan's uniqueness. Taoyuan is driving change for a better future.
At this part of the program, we are now officially moving to the signing ceremony. So as part of this segment, I would like to invite Governor Leon Guerrero to make her closing remarks as it relates to this particular signing agreement.
Thank you very much, Anita. I am very excited about this signing ceremony. I'm very excited about our movement to have Taiwan as our sister city. And as I sat here and listened to the many opportunities that Taiwan can provide, and our opportunities for Taiwan to also take advantage of, I'm even more eager to just leave today and go to Taiwan and meet face to face with you, Mayor Chen, because I think we need to do more granular discussions. For example, I see this signing as a beginning of a long friendship and relationship, not just as people-to-people relationship, but also as country to an island, as commercial to commercial, as investment to investment, as medicine to medicine, just so many, education, and so forth. I am especially looking forward to what we can do as partners in medical specialties. What we can do to maybe bring your medical people here to help us with our practices here, and what we can do to bring our medical expertise to your country to also learn from their experiences and their best practices. I am also very excited about economic diversification. I have a whole energy for aquaculture. And I think that is something that we can do quickly. I know there is there are people from the University of Guam who already have a connection with Taiwan. So I see this whole thing as tourism being the greatest influencer for other kinds of opportunities. And I'm especially grateful that you see Guam as a major destination for leisure, for fun, for happiness for your people, Mr. Mayor. But I also want to see it more than just that and more beyond that as a long-term relationship to improve both your economy and our economy. So, having said that, I am very honored and also very proud to be able to sign the Sister City Agreement. I did read the agreement. I also read the Taiwan language agreement here. I want to make sure I was signing what I'm supposed to be signing here. You know, that, and again, also very appropriate to sign it. I think after this, we have to now look at how we can work with your chambers of commerce, how we can work with your academic people, how we can work with your other industrial leaders there, just a whole vast of, I think, exciting energy that we want to put into this relationship. Taiwan is only 2 hours difference from us. I don't know what the flight time is, but I will find out because I am coming to Taiwan. So thank you again, Honorable Chen, for this, and Mayor, for this opportunity to be able to make this relationship much more of a reality and documented in paper.
Thank you very much. Thank you, Governor Leon Guerrero, for your wonderful remarks. I now turn it over to Mayor Cheng for his closing remarks before the signing.
Well, I think that Taoyuan and Taiwan is very close to each other. We are both democratic, vibrant. So the dialogue today actually entails that we have many cooperation opportunities. And these opportunities will not be limited to tourism. And I can also see that going forward, after the signing of our Sister City Agreement, Guam will have more presence in Taiwan because we will try every way possible to promote the people-to-people exchange and government-to-government exchange. And of course, after the pandemic runs its course, we will put Guam as one of our priority destinations for our people. And we hope that in the future, in the next year, we will have more exchanges.
Thank you very much, Mayor Cheng. Thank you for your wonderful remarks. Next on our agenda, we will proceed with the signing of the Sister Cities Agreement between Taoyuan City and Guam. Now, I would like to invite Governor Leon Guerrero and Mayor Cheng to please sign the agreement in front of you. Thank you very much. Now, if I could have both Governor Leon Guerrero and Mayor Chen please hold up the agreement for the camera for a photo op. Okay, thank you very much. Now, Taiwan and Guam have prepared gifts for each other to celebrate this historic moment. And so at this time, we have Director General Paul Chen as representative of Taoyuan City to hand the gift to Governor Leon Guerrero. In the Taoyuan side, we have Taoyuan Director General Yen as representative of Guam to hand the gift to Mayor Cheng.
哦，对，关岛的介绍。
These indeed are beautiful gifts. Next, we will take 2 group photos.
Okay.
The first photo, we would like to everyone to hold the signs, a smile in front of the big screen. Oh, maybe next. Oh, I'm sorry. My apologies. We will have an individual photo of Governor Leon Guerrero, as well as one with Mayor Chang holding the gifts.
Okay.
We will have 2 group photos. The first photo, we would like everyone to please stand up.
因为高雄来哈，对，要预留那个时间，要不然他们太赶，高雄来的会太赶。他6点那一班那个高。机会。
Yes. This concludes our summit. Once again, I would like to thank everyone for gracing us at this ceremony. And we truly appreciate it. We are confident that the summit and the Sister City Partnership are only the beginning of a reciprocal relationship across both sides of the ocean to exchange best practices in engaging and strengthening our community to address immediate and long-term needs. And we look to the many more interactions and collaboration between the 2 sister cities. I want to wish, on behalf of everyone, a happy holiday. Thank you, Dosha.